Oh, welcome to Ladybug. Ladybug. No, we don't have a video of it. So when you guys go to Ladybug, Ladybug is a plugin for a plugin. So Grasshopper is a plugin, right? And Ladybug is a plugin for a plugin. So Ladybug has its own. Let me full screen this thing. Ladybug has its own menu. It's located right there. Right? And when you click on Ladybug, the Ladybug tab, you're going to end up with a bunch of panels that show up underneath it. Now, one of the bad things about Ladybug, at least on my computers at home, is that the function of Control-Alt-Click doesn't work. So, for example, let me see if it works here by any chance. You'll also find that Ladybug is rather laggy. Takes a long time to do anything. Let's see what happens when I go Control-Alt-Click. See? Look what happens. Doesn't work, right? So part of what you guys are going to have to do in learning Ladybug is learn where the components are, because you do not have the ability to Control-Alt-Click and find it. It's always going to take you to the math department. Okay? So that's clear? So you guys are going to have to do some diagramming and stuff. All right? Okay, so let me delete that. Okay, so the very first thing that you have to do when you start using Ladybug, where is it? Ladybug, right there, is you have to put the Ladybug itself, that little goodie right there, which is the very first tool, Ladybug, you have to drag that onto your campus. Not onto your campus, I'm sorry. You have to drag it onto your canvas. Let me see if I can do something here. Man, it's just laggier than laggy. Yeah, it's not having any effect. So you cannot create anything in Ladybug unless you drag the Ladybug onto it first. Okay? So, and that's, again, that one's easy to find because it's the very first thing on the canvas. Is there any questions about that? No? All right, so we're going to keep going and go to the next step of this thing, which I tried to arrange it, or I tried to kind of get them to where, as I was studying this thing and preparing it for you guys, to where it kind of made sense with where things were up here. So there are 4 icons directly adjacent to the Ladybug. Do you guys see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So what I want you guys to do, or what you will be doing shortly, is you're going to take all 4 of those, and in the same pattern that they're in, I'm going to have you drop them here. Eventually we will move them. But just so that you kind of memorize the pattern, we're going to take each one of those and drop it onto the canvas in the same sequence as they currently are in. Move that over. Move that one over. Okay? So, does that make sense? Now, the primary functionality of the ones that are up here is this big one. That one, eventually, we're going to move over this way. But right now, just so that we kind of keep the two things correlated, right, let's take a look at them based on the configuration of these pieces right in here. Okay? Any questions about that? No? All right, so here comes one of the tricky parts. Okay? In order to use Ladybug, you guys need to know where the EPW files are. Okay? Now, we've already talked about EPW files in 202. That's what Climate Consultant uses in order to take all that data and turn it into graphs, right? Ladybug is going to be doing a very similar thing. So you got to know where the data is for those things. And so part of what you might have to do is you may have to go searching for the Climate Consultant climate zones, particularly Climate Zone 10, right? But for now, just for the heck of it, I've got Climate Zone, I think 15 for Palm Springs, okay? And I'm going to put it on the server, and that's the one that you guys will be able to use. So I'm going to pause this while I find that darn thing. All right, so I did find the So please pay attention now. I did find the Palm Springs EPW file. All right, that's good enough for the Coachella Valley. That would be the California Climate Zone 15, I believe. So I'll put that out where you guys can get to it. I'll probably put it in the class server. You should put it in your drive where you keep your files. One of the things that's really important is understanding how this application, Ladybug, references these files. Okay? So I'll put it out there so that you guys can get it. As a matter of fact, I'll do that right now. Control copy. And go to 222 spring. I guess that's all of it, right? Yep, 222. So I'm going to put in a folder there called EPW. And I'll place it inside of there. You can find the EPW files on your local computers. You can also download them from a variety of different websites. They're all free. Okay? All right, so that thing's there. So what I want to do is kind of go through the next process of activating the ability to find an EPW file. So in order to do that, I'm going to move the Ladybug up here. And what I want you guys to understand is that these three smaller components of the four that were up here, okay, are all dealing with loading an EPW file for use, okay, or finding an EPW file for use. So here goes. I'm going to, in order to get the download EPW file to work, you have to put in what's called a Boolean toggle. All right, so Boolean toggle. There it is right there. So put a note in there. It says Boolean toggle. Notice that the Boolean toggle right now is set to false. Okay? So I'm going to make sure I'm not moving too fast. So I'll pause for resume. Okay, so I'm going to connect this. Note that it's set to false. So when I connect it, nothing happens. It's like, oh, look at that. Didn't do anything. But when I double click the Boolean toggle to turn it to true, okay, it's going to bring up a web page, right? And the web page apparently says the EPW has been moved to a new address. Click here to go to the redirected page. So I clicked it. It's going somewhere, and eventually it'll come up. And this is what comes up. You can zoom in on our part of the globe. And it's really, really slow. So, but each of these little dots right here corresponds to the link of where you can get an EPW file. All right. So in addition to being able to do it this way, which this becomes a little bit hard, but we'll try looking for Palm Springs. That's probably Palm Springs International Airport. Right? I right-clicked on it, and what you'll find is that it has the link to the location where the weather file is. So I'm going to press Control Copy, click OK. I'm going to move this thing out of the way, come back to here. Okay, and now I'm going to move. Oh, good grief. So there's two ways that you can go about it. So right now, this first one that we just did right here, right, gave us the link. And remember, I copied pasted it. So one of the ways that you can do it is to use this EPW plus stat. Okay, if you drop a panel in here, and you cut and paste, or not cut and paste, but paste that file. Remember, do not press return after that. Okay, just load that into there. Okay, you'll notice that that EPW WeatherStat file is now linked to that website. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here because Sean is calling, so I'm going to actually stop this video.